Hey, welcome to the Amazing Library Race. So the idea with this activity is that eventually you're going to have an assignment where your professor says you've got to write a paper, you've got to do research, and you have to use more than just websites. So what this activity does is it gives you some hands-on experience with some of the library's most popular resources. So by the time you have that assignment where you have to use our stuff, you've got a little bit of experience doing it. So this is the Google form that you should be looking at right now. And you'll notice when you look a little bit farther down, it asks you to do different things using different resources. So challenge number one here is to pick a topic using opposing viewpoints. Number two is to find a journal or magazine article using Academic Search Complete. Number three is to find a book, like an actual book, using our library catalog. And number four, you're going back into Google to find a website. So basically the way that this thing works is that you're going to open up the Gen 1070 research guide that's available on the library, and you can just click this link. It'll take you right where you need to be, and you'll see that we've got opposing viewpoints, Academic Search Complete, the Tri-C Library Catalog, and Google. So the idea with these guides is that all of the resources that you need for your class are right here in one place. And it works the same way if you're ever taking an English or a history class. So let's go ahead and get started. After you fill in your information here, you're just going to go down to challenge number one, where it says go into opposing viewpoints, and then let's go ahead and click on that. Now at this point, since you're doing this from home, when you click on opposing viewpoints, it's going to ask you to log in with your Tri-C S number and password. After you do that, you're good to go. Since I'm on campus making this video, it takes me right in. But once you're here, it says to browse all 479 issues at the bottom of the page. All right, so we're just gonna go down here and click on Browse All Issues. All right, so the only thing that you need to do for challenge one is to find one of these topics that looks interesting to you, copy it, and then paste it into that Google form. So opposing viewpoints is a really great resource when you're sitting in a class, your professor says you've got to pick a topic, and you kind of sit there going, I don't know what to write about. This is a great place to go to brainstorm new topics. So let's just go ahead and say, I'll go with genetically modified food. So copy it, go back to that form, paste my answer in there, and then I'm going to move down to number two, where I have to find a journal or magazine article in Academic Search Complete. So this is where you kind of learn how to go back and forth between your tabs here. But when I open up Academic Search Complete, now here's how this works. Whatever topic you copied and pasted and put in that first box, you're basically just going to do the same thing for the rest of these resources. So I'm searching for genetically modified food inside Academic Search Complete. And if you want to avoid, umpteen quintillion different authors or really, really long titles, there are a couple of little tweaks that you can make. So for example, if you want to look at stuff that was published pretty recently, you can just drag that date slider over there, and you can look at newer things. You can also make sure that you click your full text checkbox, and that means that you're only going to be looking at articles that you can still read and pull up and print, that kind of thing. And you can also select what kind of material you're going to look at. So I'm going to say, show me magazines. Okay, so if you need a full citation for any of the articles left here, you click the title of an article, and then over there on the right-hand side where it says Tools, you're going to click on Cite. And that opens up an automatic citation generator built into Academic Search Complete. I'm just going to scroll down until I get to MLA, copy my citation, go back to my Google form, and paste it in there. Now, one thing to note, the author shouldn't be in all capital letters. It does a really good job of putting things in the right order. Sometimes it'll screw up capitalization, so if you're ever doing a real paper, just make sure that you check for stuff like that. But for this assignment, we're good to go. So when you go down to 3 and it says to find a book, we're going to go back to that research guide, open up the Tri-C Library catalog, type in genetically modified food, all right, so now we need the information about the book. So what it's telling me to do here is to basically highlight all of the stuff that you're seeing in blue in this example. So the way that this is going to work is that if I decide that, well, first I'm going to click on books, make sure I get rid of all the videos, and if this is the one that I want to use, the easiest thing to do here is you'll see that my book cover is getting highlighted here. Start at the end of the citation there, or end of the book information, and scroll up to the start of the title. That way that book isn't going to get highlighted. So just again, copy and paste. All right, so that leaves Google. So we're going to go back to the research guide, open up Google, going to look for my topic again, and if you go back to that form for a second, you'll notice that it's asking you to find a .edu, .gov, or .org, and it gives you an example of how to modify a Google search. So this is a really cool technique that you can use. So after I've already typed something in, I can just add site:.gov, hit search again. I've got way fewer results, and now you'll notice that every single result here is a .gov website. So it's kind of a way to bend Google to your will. So all this form wants here is for us to copy and paste the website's URL from the browser address. So all I'm going to do is pick one of these sites, click this URL once, hit copy, go to the Google form, paste it in, and that's the end of the exercise. So just to make sure that you've got a copy of your answers, make sure that you turn on the option that says send me a copy of my responses, and then you're going to hit submit. So in less than 10 minutes, we have picked a topic, found an article and a book and a website. So that's the best way to start for the research for your assignment.